Plan N may be the go-to choice for your Medicare supplement plan these days. And things change as we go, and things have shifted a little bit from a cost standpoint to make Plan N really a pretty good value, maybe the best value, depends on where you're located, but it might be the right choice, likely is the right choice. I'm going to dive into it right now, and I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I help people across the country make the right Medicare choices. I can absolutely help you as well. We're going to talk about Plan N and why I think it might actually be the best choice for you when you're coming into Medicare. And what I can tell you is the people that we have helped probably a couple years ago, we were maybe 80-20 Plan G to Plan N. Now we're 80-20 Plan N to Plan G. And it has a lot to do with how the costs have gone over the last few years, where G has gone up a little quicker in price than N has. And N has some very valuable pieces that kind of keep it from a lower cost standpoint. So I'll explain all that to you exactly how it works. And I understand some people absolutely don't mind paying more to get peace of mind and get better coverage and get the highest level of coverage. Both of them are very good. G is the highest level coverage there is right now. N is not far behind it. So let's talk about the two of them so that we understand. So Plan G pretty much covers everything. The only thing it does not cover is the Part B deductible. And right now, that Part B deductible is a little more than $250 a year. Not a very big out-of-pocket expense. It's really too good for health insurance. That's your maximum out-of-pocket for the entire year. If you have original Medicare and a Medicare Supplement Plan G, is that Medicare Part B deductible. That's fantastic. So we obviously hope it stays that way going forward. But what we have to manage is the Plan G premium. So we don't want to pay more than we should for our coverage. We never want to give an insurance company more money than we need to get the coverage that we're looking to have. Now, when we look at Plan N compared to Plan G, it's almost exactly the same. So it also does not cover that Part B deductible. So you got that little more than $250 deductible for the year. And then on top of that, it has a couple of copays. It has a up to $20 copay when you go to the doctor. It has a $50 copay if you go to the emergency room. Again, not very big out-of-pocket expenses and things that we certainly can manage. And when we talk about the $20 office copay, it does say up to. So a lot of times it can be less than $20. I've had people tell me it was $13 or $15 when they went to the doctor, and it's based off of the Medicare reimbursement. So if your Medicare reimbursement for that doctor's office is less than $100, which a lot of times it is, when you look at the reimbursement rates, you can see they charge X amount, but then Medicare cuts that quite significantly. And a lot of times it's certainly less than $100. That would lower that copay as you go. So again, not a big copay to start, but could be even less than that. And then $50 to the emergency room. I mean, that's ridiculous. That certainly does not prohibit you from going to the emergency room. It really ought to be a little bit higher to prevent people from going to the emergency room if they don't really need to go to the emergency room. But right now, it's a $50 copay. Now, another part of Plan N that sometimes people get a little concerned with is it does not cover what are called excess charges. So let's dive into excess charges. It's really not as complicated as it seems. Excess charges, it depends on how a doctor is contracted with Medicare. If a doctor is contracted under Medicare assignment, it means that they agree to take what Medicare is going to pay them in full. That's full payment from Medicare. If they only contract with Medicare but not assignment, then they are able to charge 15% above what Medicare pays them to you. But the thing with that is very few doctors contract that way. Matter of fact, almost no doctors contract that way. If we Google it, so let's go ahead and Google it, what percentage of doctors charge excess fees in Medicare, you'll see that less than 2% are contracted that way. So it'd be really, really hard to find a doctor that is contracted not with Medicare assignment and can charge an excess fee of up to 15%. But let's say you did come across one. And again, you go back to that office visit where if it's $100, which again, I think that would probably be on the very high side of a Medicare reimbursed office visit, that's $15. If in fact they did charge excess fees. But it is certainly something to understand because we don't want surprise. And you can certainly ask your doctors The front office staff, I can promise you, most of them won't have any idea whether they charge excess fees or they are contracted under a Medicare assignment. They will confuse it with Medicare Advantage. And so just be careful with that. And that's another thing with Medicare supplement plans. A lot of people, even doctor's office, confuse it with Medicare Advantage. It is so far different than Medicare Advantage. With the original Medicare and your supplement, you have all the control. You can go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere in the country that accepts Medicare. You don't have things like referrals and pre-authorizations and things of that nature. They're going to come out with a few on original Medicare coming up in 2026 for pre-authorizations, but it's really for things that are subject to fraud, where they're trying to get a hold of making sure that people are doing the things, or that doctors are recommending the things that they should and not doing it just to get a paycheck from Medicare. But outside of that, it works exactly the way it's supposed to work. I tell you, I've helped thousands of people with Medicare, every one of them with a Medicare supplement plan, and I get zero, literally zero customer service phone calls. If you have worked with me and you have a Medicare supplement plan and you agree with what I'm saying, please put a comment below the video for others to see that it works exactly like it's supposed to work. You go to the doctor, you give them your Medicare card, your supplement card, and that's it. You're happy. The doctor's happy. The hospital's happy. Everybody's getting paid the way they're supposed to be getting paid. They don't have to fight for their reimbursements and fight to get things approved and things of that nature. It just works exactly the way, certainly, that I would want it to work in my older years, especially if we get up into our 80s, 90s. Beyond that, we don't want to have issues with our health insurance. So we want to get in the best place at the best price. So Plan N in your zip code may make sense. This is what we do. We find the right plan with the right insurance company at the right premium that's just going to make sense from a value standpoint. So give us a call. Visit my website, Medicare on Video. Very easy. Fill out the form. We will email you a quote with the best Plan G, Plan N, might even be Plan GHD. Depends on where you're located on what's going to make the best value for you. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you'll allow us to help you. It's what we love to do. Have a fantastic day.